welcome back to West Ham Irons United. I hope you are all well. This is the player rating show. West Ham United 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. Another disappointing result, Matt.
It's the first time in a while when we haven't got the result and the results have all gone against us. Like, we've been quite lucky in the last few weeks where we've stuttered, but everyone else has. Whereas, like, this weekend, it's just been like it could not have gone any worse. You know, frigging Alisson just stuck a header in the top corner for Liverpool in the 95th minute to give them a win. Tottenham resoundingly beat Wolves. I mean, Wolves looked shocking apart from when they played us. I don't want to fault the players for the game yesterday because we tried, but just like the Everton game before, they just put everyone behind the ball and countered us. It is one of them.
Teams have started to work us out, I think. Teams are starting to work us out. Disappointing, but 2 games to go. We've still got some sort of European race on, so there's still a lot to play for. Right, we're going to get straight on in with it then, but just before we do, make sure you smack a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We will get straight on in with it. Then, our first player, Matt, is going to rate Lucas Fabianski.
What can I say? It didn't have a bad game. I don't think he had a great game either. Like, his kicking's always a thing. It's always a big point. His distribution at times is like awful. Admittedly, we've only really got Antonio to aim for. So if he tries to do clever stuff, there's a couple of times when we tried to like hit the fullback or the winger and he kicked it straight off the pitch. It was a bit sluggish coming out at times. I think it was Johan Batch nearly caught him out when he sort of either hit it just wide or clipped the post. Don't really. The goal. I've seen some people on Twitter trying to like criticize him, but I can't really fault, because if he comes rushing out, I mean, he comes rushing out to try and force Welbeck to make a mistake, rush him. Welbeck will just calm the post, clips over him. Nothing can really do about it. I don't know. I've given him a 7.
I think that's fair. I mean, I don't think anybody could have really saved that, if I'm being completely honest with you. People are saying in the chat, I'm not going to flick up the comments because I'm not on my computer and everything just slows down, so I'm just going to read them out. Stu, everything just slows down and then it only goes one way from there. Right, thank you very much. Right, Stu 77 says 7, 2 outstanding saves, 9 there. And I mean, he did okay. There wasn't really a huge amount for him to do, if I'm being completely honest. But he conceded a goal. Not much he could have done about that. But we will move on then into the defence, and we've got. I said that on the Matchday Live. We've got the dream, not the dream, but we've got our best back four back, in my opinion. And to start us off, he's been there all the time, but we've had absentees. We will start with Vladimir Soufal.
It's a weird one. Like, I'm kind of running out of words to say for Soufal. It's almost like a copy and paste now every week, isn't it? It's just copy and paste last week's words. I've given him a 7. Yeah. He's just Mr. Dependable. He's Mr. Reliable. And in the moment, he's the only one I could probably say that about the back 4, back 5, whatever defender we play. The only guy you're going to come out and get a solid performance every game is Soufal. He defends well. He gets up the pitch. He puts crosses in. Yeah, I running that way to describe him. It's just copy and paste from last week and the week before and the week before. Like, he never seems to have a bad game. Even when the defence doesn't play well or we don't play well, he always holds himself up to a high standard.
Yeah, he does. He does. Lawrence says 9. Father Snowmap says 6. Toby says something tells me that there's going to be a lot of Algerian viewers in here tonight, and I've clicked on the wrong comment there. There we go. Yeah, we will get on to the man himself, Saeed Benrahma, later on, but a pretty decent goal. Stu says solid 8 for me. Garino says top four went when we lost Rice and Antonio. That's when we started conceding versus Arsenal, Leicester, and Wolves. Asked too much from a small squad. I completely agree. But as we seem to say every week, Mr. Reliable, Vladimir Soufal did okay as always in there. And yeah, people are saying 8. I mean, I don't think he's had a bad game in a West Ham shirt, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. But you know, fantastic as always from the Czech man. Right, we'll move on into the middle of the defence then, and we will start with that. I should have had a goal, but we will start with him, Craig Dawson.
I mean, I don't know. Again, it was a kind of a normal Dawson performance. You know, he cleared a lot of headers. He got a lot of blocks in. He was unlucky. I think with him was a header, wasn't it? From like a deep cross, and he flicked it and it just went by the far post. Again, he slightly got caught out for the goal. It's that run again. The only thing we know he doesn't have Dawson is pace, and Welbeck sort of ran off the side of him. But I gave him a 6. It's just an average defensive performance. I mean, we looked all right going forward. They were sort of a bit nervy. We seemed, I don't know, I don't want to say we were nervy at the back, but I think we played too high. Like, I know we're the attacking team, but if you haven't got quick defenders, then surely you shouldn't be pressing as high up the pitch, whereas we seem to really press high up the pitch at times and attack, and then defence was getting caught out through their own lack of speed and mobility. I've given him a 6.
Yeah,
maybe that's harsh.
I don't know. He did put in a really good challenge that perhaps might have saved a goal in the first half where he just nicked it off the man. But Sheffield United just scored. Who would have thought it? Awful this season, but hopefully they're gonna
come on, Sheffield United.
Hopefully, come on the Blades. Oh, dear, honestly, what we're doing in this, you know, we're backing these teams, but let's hope that
more than anything
we do. We do, because we could end up 7th or 8th, and that's
fine. 7th is fine because that's still Europa Conference, but 8th is nothing. So that's the one position you don't want. And Liverpool's win really solidifies them for 5th. So, you know, got 3 of us fighting out for 6th and 7th. So Sheffield United can do us a massive favour with a win.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to that final day. I do think Stu says 6. Oh, here we go. I'll tell you what, Matt, you weren't here last week, but we had our first ish. Somebody came in and for about 3 of them put 6 to 7 ish.
We don't even do points. We're definitely not doing an ish. No.
Matt's not happy with that.
You got to commit. Solid number.
7 for Dawson here. Yeah, most people are putting 7 in for the big man Craig Dawson. As I said, should have had a goal, but pretty decent. We conceded a goal, but pretty decent for him. We move on to, you know, the man that he likes next to him. I think we could definitely say that. Back from injury, and we will, if I can find the video, rate Angelo Ogbonna on his performance.
Straight in, I gave him a 6 as well. I said we clearly look a lot better with Ogbonna in the team. He's clearly like the leader in that back four. He's the communicator. He sort of organises directing players in front of him as well. Like he was in constant communication with Declan Rice. It was a solid game. You could see again that, you know, it was first game-ish back, but I thought he played quite well. But again, like I said, the problem was that even though we had most of the ball, they almost looked they were threatening every time they come forward, Brighton, because of how far up the pitch we were playing. Like you could see when we got the ball, Brighton was so deep there was no space to pass into, which is why we struggled. And I don't know if that's Ogbonna and Dawson deciding to go that high or was telling them to go that high.
Yeah. Oh, is that just me? I can't hear you. Is that me? Oh, God.
No, that was me.
Oh, there you go. You're back. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that was me. Now someone's trying to phone me. My phone's going off. I'm like, oh. Yeah, I gave him a 6. Hopefully, he's back for the last 2 games to his best self, and he can bring in 2 clean sheets for the last 2 games. But he's got to get up to fitness. I mean, before, he always looks a bit shaky. It always takes him a few games, Ogbonna, to get back to his best. But it was a solid build and platform to build on from his last game. But
yeah, I agree. Yeah, most people in the chat, Lawrence is going for an 8, but yeah, 7s are coming in. Toby says a 6, made a few silly passes, but yeah, you can't expect, a worldie of a performance on his first game back. So hopefully we can see him back to his best, for the last 2 games, because we will need it. West Brom put up a fantastic fight today, against Liverpool, so we will just have to wait and see West Brom and Southampton next in 2 massive games. But we will move on out into the left-hand side then with Aaron Creswell.
Creswell finished off the back line. I've gone for another 6. Again,
he weren't great. He weren't great, I didn't think.
He got caught out a couple of times, but
yeah,
like I said, we've seen in the last few games that we struggle against teams that sit deep, but then we play so high and so open that teams can just pick us off on the counter. Everton done it, Brighton done it. I've no doubt that West Brom will try and do it Wednesday night as well. It showed that a lot of times Pablo Fornals had to track back and help him, because that Johan Batch on the wing was just bombing past Creswell every opportunity. Going forward, he done all right, to be fair. He had some decent crosses and put some decent balls into the box. Give him a 6. It's a mixed bag of he was good going forward, but he wasn't very good defensively. So
Stu
then
is
again, we
going
weren't good
for
defensively at all.
Yeah, we weren't. No, Stu says 7. Lawrence is going for a 6. Scott says Cressy, or Marcus is going for a 6 there. Scott says Cressy seems to not be able to come forward as much as we're used to. No major mistakes there. Yeah, 6 and 7s are what's coming in. It seems to be, these games that we're not doing well in, it seems to be 6s after 6s. It was last week. I tell you what, I did it last week. Anton did it, and I did the ratings, and I realised how hard it is to give a player a rating on a game.
See, people always call me strict.
Yeah, but we will move on to the man that we've wanted back for weeks, and we had him back not quite on the pace, but we will rate him now. It's that man, Declan Rice.
Deckers, I've gone straight in, giving him a 7. I thought he came straight back in. No, sort of half games, no bench appearances. Straight back in the starting lineup, played the whole game as well.
Yeah, he did.
It was an excellent return for him. He sat back
a little bit.
Controlled.
A little bit. I thought he got a bit leggy in the second half, but that's to be expected, being out for quite a considerable amount of time. So he did look a bit leggy. He let players go past him a few times, which he would have never done if he was fully fit. So he obviously wasn't fully fit, but.
No.
But we got what we all expected from Declan Rice, I think.
Sat back, sat in front of the 4, protected them, played some good passes as well, broke up the play, let Soucek get further forward again to try and influence the game going forward, which you haven't seen much of because of Soucek sitting deep recently. He's done everything you'd normally expect. Like you said, he got a bit leggier in the second half. I probably would have given him an 8, but like you said, he did sort of tire and started dropping some of his defensive stuff, especially when we started chasing the game. But for a 97 minute run out for his first game back, I thought it was a decent performance.
Yeah.
But it's just...
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Bonnie says 7. Scott says Rice played well and poked the ball well, directed play well. You could see he wanted it. 7. Garrido says Rice 8 first half, knackered second half, and he gives him a 7. Decker's 7. Yeah, lots of 7s are coming in. Good to see him back, and we will now get on to somebody that's massively influenced by Declan Rice being next to him. And I thought definitely in the first half he was a new player in there. It's our second Czech man, Thomas Soucek.
Well, I've also given Soucek a 7. I think you can just see how much more freedom he gets.
I said in the first 15 minutes. Yeah, in the first 15 minutes, I said to Dad, he is a new player with Declan Rice by, so he's got more freedom, and he's missed his main man in there desperately, hasn't he? But slightly better than we've seen him in the last few weeks, and that's down to, as we said, Declan Rice being back.
Yeah, because it lets him make them forward runs. It lets him commit with attacking play. As always, he's very important in both boxes because of his aerial ability. Attacking and defending corners and crosses and whatnot. But yeah, it's Deck being alongside him means that he hasn't got a, with Noble in, Noble didn't have the legs, so he had to sit. And with Lanzini or Fornals next to him, he had to sit because they were attacking players. They're not really defensive players. So as soon as you've got Rice sitting back in there, doing all the sweeping and the marking and clearing up, it means he can just bomb forward like he likes to do and make those last-minute runs into the box.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very good. Let's take some comments. Scott says Soucek was able to come forward more solid game 7. Lawrence is going for a 6. Stu says 8. Ben's going for a 6. Toby 7 for the tank. I think these are coming up on the screen, but God knows by now. Anything could be happening. But Marcus says Big Tom 7, Garino Soucek 7, tried to get in the box more, but couldn't get on the end of anything. Yeah, he had that one header that went goalwards. I think it was in the second half, and we haven't seen that for a while. So that was nice to see him, getting back in there and heading the ball, Matt.
It's something we've really missed. I made a comment on the live stream I said for the last 20 minutes, I was like, I'd take one of the centre backs off, push Rice into midfield and put an attacker on and let Soucek sit, or I'd push Soucek up front. We were struggling to get balls in the box.
One point, near the end of the game, I wasn't really happy with the performance, and I said, this is summing our performance up. We had Lingard sitting in at centre back, and Soufal was up front leading the line. I said, "This is what we've come to today." I was like,
just desperation, trying to get anything to work.
The thing was, they were lumping the ball up to Soufal. The ball up to Soufal. I was like, "Oh my god!"
When teams sit that deep, you need one of two things. When a team sits that deep, you need a Kevin De Bruyne, who is just going to unlock a defence with a magical pass, or you have to go and adopt Sam Allardyce's tactics. You have to pump the ball into the box to your big man and hope that he gets a knock on and brings someone else into play. And I'm like, you know what? It's 10 minutes to go. I was like, just chuck Soucek up there because he's going to win the headers. And then if you get Lingard and Benrahma and Antonio around him, you might get a knock on. But he made his runs. He done his job. He looked a lot better, a lot more comfortable, a lot more happy with Rice in. It was a solid performance from Soucek.
I agree. But we'll move on into the 3 behind Mikel Antonio. Not a good night for them. But I thought this man was probably the best out of the bunch, Jared Bowen.
It's weird because I think he was of the 3 starting behind the striker, I think he was the quietest one. And he's been quiet for a couple of games. I don't know if it's finally essentially we've played 40 games in the last year now. Probably more than that, actually. I think it's 45 games. You think we started July last year and they had a month break in the middle of it. He's slowly starting. I don't know, he just knackered. Bowen, I gave him a 6. He had some good crosses in the first half, but he struggled. But then again, we all struggled. And I've said this before, Bowen likes having the space to run into. And when teams sit that deep, you're not going to get that space. So I gave him a 6. I still would like to have seen him stay on when the sub came in. I thought he'd offered something more, but
I did not understand that. I was completely honest. They said fair play to Moy, he's bringing Benrahma on. I thought it's got to be for Fornals. We will.
That's what I was thinking.
We will get on to Fornals, but honestly, don't get me started on that, man. But I mean, it's just he took Bowen off to then put Benrahma on the right, which is not his preferred position, whereas he could have just took Fornals off, who wasn't having a great game anyway, and put him on his preferred left-hand side. He still scored the man, but I don't know. To be fair, at least we got Benrahma on early. He acted 63 minutes, I think he came on, bang, he was there. He didn't spend 10 minutes on Kevin Nolan's iPad. We were there. Honestly, that iPad. What must be on there is I would really like to know. Ben says 6 for Bowen. Scott says Bowen had a decent game defensively. Wish he could take more chances. 7. Toby says 6.5 for generous, and that 6.5 for Bowen, and that's generous. Actually 6. Trev Tube says 6 faded out. Garino says Bowen lively first 20 minutes but faded out. Yeah, most people seem to be saying that he was fading away. And yeah, I don't think I've seen any more than a 7. I thought, in my opinion, he had an okay game. But there we go. None of them had a fantastic game because I think Benrahma came on and did more than some of these players, I think. But we will move on in. If this wants to work, we will move on in to the next player. Hold your horses. Right, here we go. Right, everything's moving now. Who should we do next? Hang on. Give me 2 seconds. Right, here we go. Next, we will rate Jesse Lingard.
It's hard to give him like a rating for this.
Yeah, it is.
I've given him a 6, but he probably should have like a 7. I mean,
he wasn't great.
They double and triple marked him. They knew that our plan. We have to play through Lingard. So I keep saying this as well, though, is that if someone's getting marked, if they're man marking him that much, then someone else should be stepping up. So if Lingard's getting marked out of the game by constantly being double or triple marked, that means that there should be 1 or 2 players that have not been marked. So they've got to step up and do something. It was hard for him. They were kicking lumps out of him in the first 20 minutes as well. Every opportunity to get a tackle on him, knock him down, just disrupt his play and our play. But I've given him a 6. We weren't great. We huffed and puffed and struggled to create anything really at the end of it.
Yeah, not a very ineffective night for him, in my opinion. Right then, let's take some comments. Toby says 10, sacrificing his reputation to lower his price for us to buy him. Oh, Toby, I like your thoughts on that, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure he's playing bad to sacrifice the price for Sullivan to put for him, but who knows? Ben says 5 below his usual standards. Lawrence 7. Scott says it seems teams are trying to throw him off by fouling him. It seems to be working. 6. Yeah, I agree. Everything's just frozen again. Stu says 8. Was trying to get things going, but hitting a brick wall. Garino says Lingard 7. Huff and Puff tried to get forward, but the whole front line was too static and not on the same wavelength. Oh, here we go. The 0.5s are starting. We haven't had any issues so far. But the 0.5s are starting. Matt doesn't like the 0.5s. James has gone for a 6.5. Trev Tuber's also gone for a 6.5. They did get on him. I knew he was a danger. I completely agree. Yeah, quite ineffective for him yesterday. I think, we kept saying it, hopefully, the next game, but just not quite there. Hopefully, we will keep on saying it. He will be back to his best next week. And I'm just trying to find Pablo Fornals' video. Where has Anton put it? There it is. Right, let's rate Pablo Fornals next.
I've been sitting even now like debating which way I'm going to go because I don't know. I'll be a bit generous. I'll go up a bit. I'll go up the half a mark rather than down. I'll give him a 6.
You were thinking of a 0.5, Matt. You were not thinking of a 0.5, were you?
No, I was thinking it's somewhere between 5 and 6. And do I go up or do I go down? I'll go up and be a bit generous on Pablo. I'll give him a 6. It was weird because it looked like at times he was playing like left wing back. Like I didn't really understand his position at times. Like I don't know if I thought maybe he's supposed to be the attacking winger, but they sort of pinned Creswell down a lot, and it was almost like he was played in the back 5, which he actually handled quite well, played wide in front of Creswell. He gets full up and down quite well. His half chances he had. It's just we were talking about this on the review last night. What is wrong with his finishing at the moment? It's
unacceptable. I don't know what it is. Pablo Fornals had 2 cracking chances in that game, and the one player that we didn't want it to fall to, Pablo Fornals, because he can't shoot. That he did a fantastic turn for that. He does the whole work. He did the turn, but then he didn't even get the shot off. I mean, come on, you've got to get a shot off. And then trying to the ball comes in and he's trying to like flick it around or something. Just control it, turn and shoot. Oh, I don't know. He frustrates me. He does. Hopefully soon we're going to see more than just the work rate. Hopefully over the summer they'll be working on his finishing skills, because I think it's fair to say that he definitely needs it. Harsh words from a young lad. I know, but he just frustrates me. Scott says, is he our best player? He may be up there with Rice. Incredible touches that goes unnoticed. He's the player who seems to connect everything together.
It's his finishing.
He does the hard work. This man does the hard work, and I said this on my show I did this morning. And with Moyes, we see it when he played against Burnley. If he misplaces a pass or if he shoots and it goes wide, they pan in on David Moyes and he's livid. He is livid. You can see it in his eyes. And then Pablo Fornals does it, and he just seems all right. Move on. I don't know.
He's one of the chosen ones. That's why.
He is.
Every manager has their favourites, and his work rate, he's got himself into that favourites book. What they need to do is over the summer, in the summer, in training, in pre-season, they need to get Pablo on the pitch with Kevin Nolan, because Nolan was the expert. He was the expert, wasn't he? Running onto them flick-ons, coming in late, goal-scoring midfielder, and he built a career off it. Nolan. He needs to sit down with Pablo and be like, "Look, this is where you're going wrong. Take my shooting boots, and you'll be sorted." Because that he's always missing. You think he had that chance? Was it the first or second half? Creswell, I think someone cut it back to him, and he took a touch, and then he shot and he got blocked. And it's like, you don't have in the box in the Premier League, you're not going to get 2 touches. And then there was the one that really, really irated me was in the second half. I think Soufal had a cross from deep, and he had time. That was the one time.
Yeah.
Going the opposite of what I completely just said. That was the one time he had time to take a touch on the volley. Sorry, on his thigh, on his chest, and turn and shoot. And he tried that stupid Cruyff back flick, and it was just I think he nearly went out for a throw-in. It was absolutely. But apart from that, he is a good passer. He links the play up well, and he's got a really good work ethic, which is why Moyes likes him. We just need to get him on the training pitch in the summer, and just give him loads of training with Kevin Nolan to get his finishing up, and he'll be all right.
There is no doubt about it. He's the workload, but I can see why people say, we need more than the workload. He's part of this attacking four, and people want to see, we hopefully that they'll be working in the summer to get his shooting and attacking ability up. Scott says Fornals is not really a forward. He works like a high positioned midfielder. I don't count on him for striking, rather for distribution. Fair enough. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know where Moyes plays him, whether he plays him in this four,
Moyes
or
plays him anywhere.
Yeah. Moyes plays him anywhere. Moyes plays him where he wants. Yeah.
Because I don't think he argues. I think he's one of them sort of players.
Yeah.
But like I said yesterday, he was playing like left wing back, and it's almost like Moyes said to him, like, you're gonna have to probably sit deeper, sit in front of Creswell, track this wide runner, and Fornals was like, yeah, boss, sure. That's why he always plays.
He's like, yeah,
I'll go play on the right hand side. Go do that. And he's like, yeah, boss. That's why Moyes likes him.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, oh yeah, he does, and I can see why he likes him as well. I would have just preferred for him to go off and Bowen to stay on the pitch, but in that substitution. But we will leave the Fornals debate there, and we will move on to the last player on the pitch. Another ineffective day for him, as it was for most of the attacking players today. Mikel Antonio.
Antonio, you know what? Sterrell made a point about it last night. When he came back into the team, like unexpectedly against Burnley, he spent a lot of the time staying within the width of the penalty box, and that's how he got his goals. We were putting crosses in, and because he was in the box, he was getting on the crosses. But the last two games, he's been chasing down the channels, and it's like we've got three runners in. You've got Fornals, Lingard, and Bowen playing behind you. They're all leggy and will all cover lots of ground and go and hassle and chase. And you don't need to go run down the channel. Let them go and do it.
Yeah.
Running wide, it just makes him ineffectual. I mean, I've given him a 6. His hold-up play was good, but when he's holding the ball up on the wing, unless Soucek can get in the middle to get on it, it's pointless because then you're crossing it into 3 shorter guys. And unless the cross is perfect, especially against the 3 Brighton centre backs who are over 6'4", you're not going to do anything. We're going to struggle, and we did. For all the running and the tracking back and winning possession, holding the ball up. If he's not in the middle, it's kind of like doing half Brighton's job for him. We need him in the width of that penalty box. But he'd done it against Burnley and scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
Should have scored 3 or 4. And then drifting wide's like, he thinks he's helping because he's coming to collect the ball and bring us into play. But if then we end up crossing it, there's no one in the box, so it's not going to do anything. That and his shooting.
What they're seeing. I don't know what they're seeing. Perhaps the only way I could think about it was in the Everton game. He tried to get out wide more so he could target Seamus Coleman, but just stay in the middle. Because then, as I said to Anton on the rating show last week, if Soucek hasn't pushed up, that means then whoever, Fornals or Lingard, crossing it into Bowen or Fornals respectively, and they ain't gonna head it against players like Mason Holgate against Everton, players like I forgot the guy's name, but these big centre backs, these Brighton centre backs that are quite big. I just don't understand it. Stay in the middle and be there waiting, be a fox in the box. But Lawrence is going for a 5-2-6, played like he's injured. Yeah, lots of 5s and 6s coming in. Here we go. This has got to beat the record, Matt. James says the beast 6.2, 6.22314.
Where the 0.2 come from? The other thing as well I was saying is his shooting. The amount of times he got the ball like 25 yards out and he shot, and I'm like, you know what? There's like certain Premier League players and they have a shot from like distance. You're worried, you think like they could do something here that could go in. And at no point has any West Ham fan or any opposition fan seen Antonio line up to shoot from 25 yards and thought, this is going in the top corner. He's never scored a goal outside the box. And I'm pretty sure he had about 7 or 8 attempts yesterday from like 25 yards that he either slammed into a defender or went over the bar. And it's like, I know the old adage, you don't shoot, you don't score. But when these options on the wing, and they're easy options as well, it's like, just do the easy thing. I know you're desperate for the goal, we're desperate for the goal, but you haven't got the control or technique to score from 25 yards, Mickey. Stop shooting.
I know. Yeah. I don't know why he does it. If you don't shoot, you don't score, as you said. But I don't know. Right, this is what I've been waiting for 35 minutes and 46 seconds. Let's rate the only sub that was on the pitch, and he was the game changer. Matt, you know what's happening here. It's time to rate Saeed Benrahma.
He actually looked really good when he come off the bench. You could have argued this was a game to start him, really. You might have been better off starting him over Fornals. And you know what, in fairness, he may even start him over Fornals against West Brom. In fairness. I mean, he actually, you know what, to be fair, I've given him a 7. He came on for 25 minutes, finally broke his duck with a very well taken goal. Excellent technique. And he looked lively when he came on. He was taking people on. Yeah. He was giving an option, trying to spread the play. Maybe he is the one. Maybe you need to start him. Start him against West Brom, move Jesse out onto the wing and put Benrahma in at number 10 and just say to him, drift around the pitch and do what you want. Because he sort of done that when he came off the bench, and he was actually really effective in doing it.
Yeah, and he created. He scored the goal, and he nearly created another one as well. Fantastic ball into the box. Dawson just couldn't. I'll tell you what, that would have been a perfect goal. Benrahma assist, Dawson goal. Dawson couldn't get it goalwards and couldn't get it in. I would have loved that. I tell you, my two players I want to be included in a goal. It was those two, but yeah. What a goal it was! We've had to wait for his first goal, and he hasn't been great when he started, exceeding just leaving the Burnley game to aside in the last month or so. But I don't know. Fantastic performance from him again. Should Lingard and Antonio be dropped? I don't think you can drop Jesse Lingard, if I'm being honest with you, because
I think you drop either of them. We've got 2 games left. That's it. Games left now.
Yeah, there's no time for experimenting or anything with that. We've got 2 massive games left. I think Lingard can always turn up. And Antonio is that man. He is that man as well. I think Stell says, should Dawson also be dropped? Another goal we cussed us by ball watching. Matt, was he ball watching?
Depends what you're going to say. I mean, technically, you have to watch the ball when you're playing anyway, but we know that's his one downfall. He hasn't got the pace. That's at the moment. I'd probably say it's the one thing, or one of the only things that Diop has over Dawson is that it's his mobility. What's Dawson going to do? There, stick his foot out and bring him down and get sent off again. You can't pull him down as he runs past him. And he hasn't got the pace to keep up with him. Oh, yeah. Look. Stell's not happy.
I don't know, Stell. I don't. I like Craig Dawson, but you can't. I don't think you can blame that goal just firmly on him, because I think all night we left gaps, whether it was in the midfield and in the defence, and that's not all his fault. It's not all Dawson's fault.
We talked about the pitch. I said it earlier. We pressed up too high, chasing the game, and much like Everton before, Brighton were happy to sit in their 2 banks of 4 and 5 and hit us on the counter. That's what they did. If they were 10 yards further off, 10 yards deeper, there's no space for him to run in to make that run.
Yeah. Right. Stell's getting some stick in the chat now. Right, let's have a look. Garina says goal was due to none of the defenders giving the shout when Welbeck made the run. Soufal didn't shout to Dawson. Dawson didn't shout to Woggy. Yeah, I don't think you can mainly solely put it down to him. But we will move on then, because we could talk about these players. We could talk about Dawson and Benrahma and all of these players all night. But we will move on then to the gaffer. We will before we go, we'll rate his starting lineup and the subs and his tactics for the game. Let's rate the gaffer, David Moyes.
So I mean, look, we saw the starting lineup, and I think it's what everyone expected. To be fair, I think everyone expected roughly that lineup. No one could argue against it. We did actually play quite well. Yet again, we had a lot of possession. We just don't have we don't have the players or the option of a plan B. You know, we don't have another centre forward to come on and try and change the game. We don't have anyone else that can play. Well, we do, but he won't use him. Doesn't want to play the kid. His start 11 was good. His tactics were good. The only thing for me frustrating was the subs. I think he got the Benrahma one spot on, but I made the point with 10 minutes to go. We should have had other centre forwards on. I didn't put my hair out more when Welbeck scored because we still didn't make a sub. I was like, you got Udabiku and Yarmolenko sitting on the bench. And we need
never
goals,
bring Ogbonna on, Matt.
He
only bought Ogbonna on because he really, really had to in that game and it didn't work. And I think that says for him now. He's not ready.
He did bring someone on. I mean, he got lucky that Benrahma pulled one out because it was like we still had 4 defenders and 2 holding midfielders on the pitch. And I'm sorry, even if you took off Soucek and put on a centre forward, we needed that. That's the only thing I'd say about him is he didn't. You could see he was animated and he was stood up and shouting about. But what was the plan? What was the roll with the dice? You know, we all praised him in the Burnley game when he rolled the dice and he put Lanzini as a holding midfielder, as an attacker sitting there deep. Why didn't he do that again with 5 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go? Why didn't he take off? Well, I was saying take off Dawson. I wasn't picking on Dawson, but take off one of the centre backs. Drop Rice into the centre-back position. Drop one of the attackers in next to Soucek and get another centre-forward on. Because we needed the goals. Yeah,
we did.
This could go one of 2 ways. If we win the last 2 games, the point Benrahma got could be seen as priceless. Flip side, if we only get 1 win and 1 draw, we miss it by 2 points, you can go back to that game against Brighton and go, with 15 minutes to go, why didn't you get another attacker on the pitch?
I think this game I thought Fredericks a bit of pace down that right hand side just to get us up the pitch. Perhaps I know we haven't got the what's the word, the quality perhaps, but I don't know. Who knows? Right then, so Fo's digging at all of the presenters except me and Matt here. He's saying we are accomplished, but Stowe and Anton aren't. Thank you very much, Fo. Europa League or Conference League, I think it's gonna be tough. I reckon this Conference
Champions
League
League's not there anymore. Champions League. Oh, sorry, Europa League or Conference League. They're both still on. But as I said to you earlier, I think 5th's gone. Liverpool got that win today. So that puts them, I think, 4 points. No, is it 5 points in front of us now? So they got up to 62. Is it 60 or 62? It's 62 or 63 in that one. I need to see the table quick. I think it's one of the 2. It's either 62 or 63 points. So they're about 4 or 5 points in front of us with 2 games to go. It's done.
There is, yeah. I mean, it's going to be, Champions League out of 8. Europa League is...
Champions League has gone after the Everton game.
Yeah.
I know people are still dreaming, but you're talking about teams at the top. Teams are at the top of the table because they win every week. Or they win most weeks. You're not at the top of the table for having relegation form. So expecting Leicester and Chelsea to lose all their last 3 games wasn't going to happen. Liverpool now on 63 points. We're on 59, so they're 4 points clear of us. So we'd have to win both games. They'd have to lose both games, and Tottenham would have to not win both games. Champions League's gone. I think 5th place is probably just about gone as well. And it's like I said, it's between us, Spurs, and Everton for 6th and 7th. One team's going to miss out on one of them.
We are going to leave on this comment here. Thank you very much, EP. Anton is the most dedicated fan ever. Travelling from Scotland is admirable. I don't think any of us would do the same so easily. There we go. Still, you can't come back at that now. You can't come back at that now. Well, thank you very much, GP. And yeah, right. Anton, he's not here tonight, but he does the graphics. He sets it all up. Oh, here we go. He's a Kilmarnock fan, so doesn't have far to travel. Right. I'm now going to go. Fan. Yeah, oh, here we go. Everything's eaten up just as we've got to go. I've got to go. If you want to see some more West Ham content, 8 o'clock on my channel, West Ham Unofficial, I'll be doing a Premier League roundup show with me and Mini Jack Grealish himself, Josh. So, Stel, I can get it up for you, Stel, because I know you love the ridiculously long URLs on them. I don't know if Stel knows what a URL is, but he will in just a second. So that is at 8 o'clock. I will whack that link in the chat in just a second. But thank you very much for Matt for coming back on again.
Yeah, it's good to be back on. Hopefully, I mean, when's on? I don't know. I don't know what our next rating show is.
I don't know when we'll do one for the West Brom game. Yeah. That'll be tough. That'll be tough trying to do one for the West Brom game, but there'll be
2 games in a couple of days.
Yeah. There'll be at least one rating show left. Whether I've got cricket on Thursday nights now, so I won't be able to do that. But we will get that sorted. We will get that sorted unless there's a massive downfall in rain. Right then. So here we go, Stel. You have here we go. James Singh, Jake and James 9.317. See, there you go. Oh dear. Yeah. What's the say? We'll have to get yeah. You'll have to get a professional one then. Yeah. All right, Steph.
Oh, we haven't run out of him. I don't know if Rich is available.
Right then. So there you go. In the chat, live at 8 o'clock. There you go, Stars. A ridiculously long URL for you. It will come up in just a second. Smash the likes on the video. Let's see how many likes we're currently on. Let's see if we can jump up on some votes. Subscribe. There you go. YouTube.com/watch/ blah blah blah. We are currently on 19 likes. Can we get to 20 likes now? Can someone hit the like button so we can get the 20 likes and somebody take off that? Here we go. 21 likes. We are there. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to West Ham United if you are new. Please rate our presenters 10 each and rate. I'll tell you what are you Matt? What are you rating Stel for doing the chat? He turned up 20 minutes late, but what are you going to give him?
-1.
We'll leave it there. Come on,
first minus -1.
minus. We'll leave it there. Go on, you irons, and goodbye.